Hello boys and girls, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Chaos Child. So we left off coming into, I think this isn't the student council room, is it? Okay, we came into a room of some sort because we were going to go look for who this character right here was. But I guess we found her. So now we have a positive or negative choice. I don't really know what would be smart to go with. A part of me wants to go positive solely for our sanity. I guess we'll see what we got here. What was she doing here?
Takuru? あなたたちもどうしたの全員で。
いや。
The woman. No, the girl stared at us suspiciously. And then, for the first time, she realized that I couldn't take my eyes off of her.
何ほうけてるのあなたたち。
The words wouldn't come out. What do I say? Why was she here? Why was she acting so normal? Let's see what this will give us.
はじめまして。私、クルスノノの妹です。
I don't like this. I need to go back. The girl suddenly smiled and bowed.
妹？
嘘だ。クルスに妹がいるなんて話、聞いたことが。
渋谷地震の時に生き別れになっていたの。私自身、妹はもう死んじゃったんだって諦めていたんだけど、まさかこうして再会できるなんて、本当に奇跡ってあるのね。
There were tears in Kirisu's eyes. Then this girl really was her little sister. I was still having trouble believing it was the girl, I really fucked that one up, huh? I was still having trouble believing it as the girl walked right up next to me.
あなたが宮代拓さんですか？
うん、そうだけど。
How did she know my name?
じゃあ、私にとってはお兄ちゃんですね。
は？なんだと？
そうなの
What the fuck, dude?
タクルさんはお姉ちゃんにとって弟同然なんでしょ？
What the hell? That doesn't make any sense at all. I looked to Kirisu for help.
タクル、仲良くしてあげて。よろしくお願いします、お兄ちゃん。
And all of a sudden, I had a little sister. The end. Things around here were about to get a lot more complicated. Why are we going to a... Yeah, what the fuck? Or not. Not a chance in hell. There was no way this girl was Kirisu's little sister. Not that I had any idea what she was doing here.
のんちゃん、知り合いなの？
Sarika motioned toward the girl.
ええ、後輩。2年生で文芸部部長の有村ひなえさん。あ、どうもです。
The girl bowed to us.
クルス先輩のお友達ですか？ええ。そっちが新聞部部員で3年の伊藤真二くん。同じく部員で2年の尾上セリカ。で、それが部長で3年の宮代拓。身の程を知らない私の愚弟。
Kirisu's eyes narrowed as she glared at me.
弟さんですか？でも名字が。養護施設のね。へえ、血がつながってない兄弟。なんかいやらしいですね。小説とかと一緒にしないでちょうだい。
But still, doesn't it seem kind of naughty? She asked with a wink. What? Why? What are you doing here? I wiped my sweaty hands on my pants and tried to ignore my pounding heart. Oh, whoop, my bad. I really ruined that, huh?
何してるんですか？いや、
Damn it. Get the words out.
タクル？
Sarika seemed to understand what I was trying to say and finished my sentence for me.
有村さんは何しにここに来たんですか？クルス先輩に文化祭のことで話があったんだよ。てか同学年なんだから敬語いらないよ。まあいっか。じゃあ私はこれで。クルス先輩すいませんでした。
Kirisu waved a hand and told her not to worry.
事情があるなら仕方ないでしょう。文芸部は文化祭に参加できないと話は通しておくから。でもどうしても事情は言えないのね。痛いけな乙女の秘密ということで何卒了解。でも来年はフォローできないからね。はい、ありがとうございました。
The girl put her bag on her shoulder and bowed to us, and then went to leave. Wait. I still haven't asked you about the things I need to. Her name, it was...
有村さん？
My voice was loud enough that I made her jump a little.
びっくりした。元気ですね。
ごめんなさい。
いえ、別にいいんですけど。何です？
大声すいませんでした。いや、じゃなくて、ですね。
My face was turning red from nervousness. Damn it. This was always what happened the first time I talked to someone. What should I ask? Oh my god. Why is it another thing?
ホテルで
ホテル？
何してたんですか？あのホテルで。
Yeah, you know what? Let's get a creepy answer. A moment. It felt like her body moved for just a moment.
有村さん？
I could see Kirisu frown in the corner of my eye. She was looking at me. Her expression hadn't changed. But for some reason, it felt like she was looking me over. How do you pronounce her name? Arimura? Ari... I gotta stop trying to roll my tongue. I can't. Arimura sighed, annoyed.
はいはい。白状しますよ。
Confess? No, wait, a murder?
親父狩りしてました。
え？
わかります？親父狩り。私が街を歩いてるおっさんに1回1万円って言って声かけるんです。で、ホテル行ったら先にシャワー浴びてよって頼むわけっすよ。そしたらその間に仲間を部屋に誘導する。
Her friends?
あとはすっぱだかのおっさんを縛って写メで撮ってから財布に入ってるお金を全部抜き取って終了。向こうは後ろめたいことしてるわけだから警察にも言えずに泣き寝入り。完全犯罪の成立です。
In other words, she had very scary friends.
でもよりによってこないだのおっさんは抵抗してきたんですよ。ムカついたんで全員でリンチしてぶっ殺しちゃいました。
No one said a word.
ちなみに皆さんの顔と名前全部覚えちゃいましたんで、夜道を歩くときは気をつけてくださいね。私の仲間がご挨拶に行くかも。
Jesus. That was awful. It was a possibility, wasn't it? No, not really. I couldn't think of any other good reason for her to be in that hotel. An awkward silence ensued as we waited for her to answer.
あなただったんですか？部屋に入ったっていううちの生徒は。
Her tone of voice was perfectly normal. There was no surprise or anger, just a flat level tone. But somehow that struck me as much worse.
言葉に出してもらってもいいですか？部屋に入ったのはあなたですか？
What?
そうだよ。
そうですか。
I couldn't tell if she cared or not. No, she's recording it.
それでホテルで何を？
部屋のドアが勝手に開いて、それで入れたそうですね。それは本当ですか？
I'm so sorry if you guys can hear my puppy in the background, by the way. I hope it adds to the atmosphere as to whatever's going on here. The door. The door opened on its own. She knew about that? I nodded.
言葉に出してもらってもいいですか？
Huh?
本当だよ。勝手に内側から。
そうですか。
And then she seemed to be looking me over again. What was going on here?
有村さん？何かあなた。じゃあ、失礼します。
It's obvious what she was doing there. Arimura ignored Kirisu's question and went to leave.
ちょっとですから何を？
ああ、敬語いらないですよ。それに呼び捨てでいいです。後輩じゃないですか。それから。あなた、殺されますよ。宮代拓先輩。
All right. Those were her last words before she left the room. She didn't seem at all surprised that I had questioned her, but I froze solid. Well, alright. The fuck's going on here on Twitter? Guess we're supposed to, scroll through yet again. Who put this on Hachiko? Yeah, that seems lovely. Creepy. Sumo sticker, absolutely. Congrats on 500 retweets. Yeah, that's an accomplishment. It looks like that's it. Cat Ibisu, I think is what that said. October 2nd, 2015, Friday. At the same time... Oh, it's raining. Dongenzaka, Shibuya. The sky had been overcast all day, and now it had finally begun to rain. Some of the news media that had been swarming around the Love Hotel decided it was a good time to go home. Others just took refuge in their vans, frowning. Meanwhile, Shinjo's mind raced as quickly as the men trying to flee the storm.
どういうことなんだ?
Everything had started right after midnight. Arimura Hinai, the Hekiho girl, had refused to give even her name until he relayed Momose's message to her, but as soon as she heard it, her attitude changed. His only choice now was to continue to do everything Momose's kid told him to do. The first thing she'd said that there was almost no chance Arimura was the killer, and that it was safe to let her go. The second thing she'd said was that it would be smarter to let her go and see what she did. The third thing she'd said was that even if she did, or even if he did, get some answers out of her, he wouldn't be able to make sense of them. Shinjo had used every bit of his authority to get her released. He'd been forced to suck up to some people he really didn't like, and in the end, she wouldn't be monitored or questioned by the police daily. Since they hadn't known if she had anything to do with Kakita's death, they'd used her assault on the police officer to bring her in. Either way, last evening marked 48 hours since her arrest. They had to decide whether to let her go or seek a warrant for detention. They hadn't found any physical evidence connecting her to Kakita's murder, and Arimura herself said,
何も覚えていません.
That was all she'd said, in fact. Provisional release at this point felt like a big stretch of his authority, but it was a sensible decision. If anything here wasn't sensible, it was the fact that he was doing everything Momose's acquaintance asked of him. He didn't have a plan to follow. This was the first time that had happened, he thought. He only managed to be successful at his age around what Momose called the hardheads in Section 1 because he knew how to be flexible. The reason that many police officers could be stubborn and hard-headed was that most of the time, that was how you solved a case. Shinjo understood that the rules they clung to so fiercely, both written and unwritten, were the product of valuable experience. But he also understood that the unorthodox methods his senior detective friend had taught him were a weapon in their own right. Even if the higher-ups didn't like him using them, they'd brought him success. One good example was the time the profilers had told them that the person behind a string of assaults was a man in his 20s who never left his house. He'd found out that the culprit was actually a runaway girl in her late teens who lived in a net cafe. I watched a video where it was like a documentary of like people who live in those net cafes. He'd matched the internet logs that Section 1 had gathered with the data held by the Social Safety Section, a group that was on notoriously bad terms with Section 1. In the end, he'd cracked the case by logging onto an online game and tracking down several of its players, including the girl behind the attacks. Shinjo was, if nothing else, confident that he was capable of not letting preconceptions keep him from making the best choice. But this time, not only did he not know what was the best choice, he didn't even know if the choices he was making were good or bad.
これじゃ百瀬さんの言った通りじゃないか。
If he couldn't change things fast, he might end up taking off the case. He looked at his watch and realized something. The man he was waiting for wasn't here. It had cost him quite a bit to get permission to show him the crime scene, and he was over 30 minutes late.
百瀬さんが言うには特徴のあるやつだからすぐにわかるって話だったが。
He didn't know what he looked like, but there was no way the officers standing guard outside could miss him.
ちょっと待ちなさい！こら！
He heard a loud voice from the hallway. Shinjo decided that before he let him into the scene, he'd give him a lecture about his tardiness. He stopped, surprised.
女?
He didn't expect to see what he saw. He'd convinced himself that anyone weird enough to want to see a crime scene had to be a guy. But she looked like she'd be very pretty with makeup on, even if she wore none now. A frown was plastered on her face, and her long hair was half-heartedly tied behind her back. She was wearing a white lab coat, and under it was...
制服? それにあれは確か
I guess everybody that's a character in this game, besides this fucking detective, is a student at the same school. Now, uniform was for Hekiho Academy, the same cool Arimura and the two kids who'd snuck into the crime scene attended. Shinjo motioned to the officer to let her pass and remembered the last name he'd been given by Momose.
君が久野里さんかな
Yeah. I leave it to you all. So, you don't need my confirmation.
Huh?
There's no time to waste, as you know. Here. Yeah. Well, I gotta nurse this damn cop. Okay. Later, Chris.
All right. And then she hung up the phone and glared at Shinjo. She showed no sign of apologizing for her lateness or gawking at the scene of a murder. This was her. It had to be. When she saw how arrogantly she was behaving, he knew immediately that this had to be the Kunosato person that Momose had told him about. He felt a little overwhelmed by her, but tried to make his voice as strong as he could.
黒里さんかな。百瀬さんのことだからどんな人が来ても構わないつもりでいたんだが、若い女の子を入れるわけには。
こんな非常識が蔓延している現場で常識的なことを言うな。それが邪魔だと言われなかったか。
She ignored Shinjo's words and walked right past him. She stepped right on top of the number plates that forensics had put on the ground to identify the locations of evidence. Then she looked at the blinds placed on the window to stop the media from looking inside and stopped. Shinjo felt himself becoming annoyed at her attitude, particularly what she just said about him in English.
こちらが間抜けな警官だろうが、指示には従ってもらう。今すぐに。
世間の連中は死体はみんな死んでると思ってる。
は？
英語を聞き取れる耳は持っていても、ビンチャーは見てないのか。
She put her hand up to the blind that she'd been looking at.
何してんだ？
あんたらは現場は事件が起きた空間だけだと思ってるのかって言ってるんだ。
She kept her eyes on the exposed window. And she tossed him a Pokecom she'd fished out of her pocket. Shinjo grabbed it without thinking and looked down at it. It's that lovely video, taken from outside. He was stunned. It was footage of the room he was in right now. That was probably Kakita, dead, and Arimura Hina. Actually, I didn't even see her in there. Yeah, she wasn't in that. She wasn't in that frame. Unless they're just implying it based on that scene.
ついさっきウェブに貼られた動画だ。
Her answer made Shinjo feel pissed off at everything, including himself. Why didn't he notice? Why did he have to be shown this by a girl who he just met?
窓の外からか。
He grabbed onto the window frame, looking for the spot where the video had been recorded. But all he saw was the external wall of the building, slick with rain. There was only some kind of strange, creepy sticker there.
Oi!
Shinjo yelled out into the hallway. The officer outside heard the tone of his voice and rushed inside. Shinjo pointed at the window and said,
至急鑑識を呼んで、隣の建物の入り口を封鎖しろ。それから、この映像の出所を。
映像はともかく、建物からはおそらく何も出ないぞ。外壁にカメラなどを取り付けた形跡はなかった。
え？
入り口にあった監視カメラの映像をコピーしてうちで洗っているが、まあ出ないだろう。出てもらっちゃ困るんだよ。
She must have been enjoying this, because Kunosato's frown twisted into a mischievous bully's expression. Again, he didn't understand. He didn't have time for this. He ignored her and ordered his men to seal the building, call forensics, and track down where that video was filmed. With that finished, he turned back to her.
それを調べていて遅れたのか。
現場保全を優先しろ。この動画は貼られた直後にアットちゃんに飛び火した。貼られてから40分強経過している。すでに5000人以上がこの動画にアクセスしてるんだ。その中に事件にへばりついている下のマスコミの関係者がいないと思うか。
待て、勝手に。
Wait, now who's here?
ニコニアニュースの
media.
渡部です。この動画についてコメントを。海読みテレビです。お聞きしたいことが。
出て行け、取るな。
Can't we just seal off this fucking building? He could hear yelling coming from the hallway.
くそ、またあのネット記者か。
Shinjo ran out into the hallway, infuriated.
捜査一課の方ですか？動画をご覧に。
許可なく入らないでください。コメントすることはありません。
押すんじゃない。
ご覧になったんですか？なっていないんですか？
コメントすることはありません。
Kunosato was still looking outside the window as she listened to the commotion in the hallway. She stuck her hands in her pockets and stared at the sticker on the opposite wall the way a person on top of a tall building stares down at the tiny people on the street below.
なあ、気分はどうだ？
The sticker pictured two ugly overlapping faces. The rain made it look like they were crying.
目撃者がいるとすれば、お前だけだろ。
Kunosato smirked, like a fighter facing down a worthy opponent. Now, I'm not one for talking to inanimate objects, but... well, she had a point. It is a very weird case. Going about it normally probably isn't the best choice. October 2nd, 2015, Friday. Time passed. It was now almost midnight. Under a bridge in Shibuya, she walked with her head down so that others couldn't see her strange face. She was dragging her leg, so her body tilted a little. She didn't have an umbrella, so the rain that had fallen that evening made her long bangs cling to her forehead. Water dripped off of them. The eerie eyes that poked out from between her locks of hair looked like those of an animal hunting its prey. No one was moving but her. Normally, there would be people here at this hour, but the town left her alone, as if it had sensed something. She disappeared into an alley without anyone else noticing her. It's probably that woman we saw in the beginning. It was several minutes later when they appeared there. This is an interesting couple of people. A girl less than 10 years old and an old woman well over 70. The old woman might have been blind because she carried a stick and had her hand on the girl's shoulder. And the little girl was carrying something far too big for her tiny frame. Neither of them were carrying umbrellas and both were soaking wet. They walked at a slow pace. Perhaps they knew the path well, or perhaps they simply didn't care because they paid no attention to anything around them. And then, for the first time, the little girl saw something and stopped. The old woman stopped as well, and the only sound in the alley was the sound of the rain. The girl stood there for a full minute. Eventually, she turned her head and led the older woman away. All that was left was the rain. Oh, God. And the things on the wall. Yeah. Okay. They kind of just appeared.
が発見された事件で、その現場を映したと思われる映像がインターネット上に出回っており、
問題の映像は先日渋谷のラブホテルで自殺していた男性の遺体を映しており、
Yeah, I agree. It was past midnight. All the news programs were talking about the video that had been uploaded to the internet that afternoon. Since there was a dead body in the video, none of the programs were actually playing it, but the newscasters had all described it. It was as if they were telling people to watch the rest on the web.
となると、この報道が初耳の人間がネットに流れてくるか。
Twitter was the best way to see what people were saying at any given moment. I opened it and took a look. Where can you see the thing they're talking about on TV? This is getting exciting. And then there's a link. I saw it, but I should have known better than to watch it this late at night. Someone tell me a funny joke or something.
だよな。
That's how I felt about that video of that one guy that got shot by those two terrible people. And then of course there was a guy filming it in a car behind. Chased the man down and shot him dead. That sucks. But I went and found the video. Probably shouldn't have, and I'm sure a lot of people did the same thing, so I guess I can understand what a lot of these fictional Twitter users are going through. Whenever I searched for a keyword related to the case, I found tons of tweets about the video and the news broadcast. The address of any page or aggregator site hosting the video was getting retweeted at an incredible rate. Of course, this was nothing new. @Chan had already been in festival mode since the video had first been posted that evening. The video on the aggregator wiki had been quickly deleted, but someone had saved it and uploaded it to a bunch of other sites. Those sites had deleted it too, so others had repeated the process. After the news, the threads on @Chan had gotten bigger.
回転デッドか。これが通称になりそうだな。
I didn't know who'd first come up with that name, but more and more people on @Chan were using it. It was probably a play on the revolving bed the body had been found on. Since the body had been spinning too, the case was literally about the revolving dead. @Chan, Twitter, and all the aggregator sites and pages dealing with the case were in an uproar. I looked around and didn't see any new information. I'd seen it in person myself. I could easily tell when someone was lying or guessing.
0時過ぎ。こっちはどうだ。
There were no big updates on Shibuya news either. The top of the page was about the uploaded video, but it was basically just a rehash of existing information. I thought that with all this fuss, she'd be putting on a web radio broadcast. But maybe she was busy. There was nothing about the Sumo stickers or Arimura, which made sense, I guess. Even Kei wasn't psychic. Only we and the police knew about Arimura, and only we knew about the stickers. The Sumo stickers.
くそ、本当であれば今日中に音漏れ炭の現場に力士シールがあるかどうか確認したいと思っていたのに。
あなた殺されますよ、宮代拓先輩。
I couldn't get the words she'd whispered out of my head. In the end, it had started raining, and I'd gone with Ito's plan of trying to get more information about the video and learn about Arimura. I hadn't made much progress with either. Of course, it had surprised me that Kirisu hadn't said anything.
殺されますよってなんだよ。
The question came back to me again for the 100th time, and I still had no answer. What was she warning me about? Why had she told me I was going to be killed? Had I pissed her off somehow? No, it felt like she was talking about someone else killing me. Then maybe it didn't matter if she hated me or not? And the timing didn't make sense either. We weren't talking about anything weird, we were just talking about the case. Was she telling me that if I kept looking into this, I would be killed? But that didn't make sense either. The police had ruled the death at the Love Hotel a suicide. It was a strange way to kill yourself, sure, and after seeing it, I couldn't believe it was just a simple suicide, but did that mean Kakita had been murdered after all? Murdered by whoever had tried to come into the room? But the police had told me I'd been mistaken, and Ito had told me I couldn't prove it logically. Then who did the fucking knocking that you can hear in the video? It was no good. It didn't make any sense. And yeah, and who unlocked the door to let us in? I was going to be killed? Had I crossed some line?
殺されるぞ、宮代拓。
I tried saying it aloud and shivered a little. Was I scared, or... was I excited? I could feel myself start to laugh. That was fine. That was just fine with me. If I'd crossed some line, I'd find out what it was. That was the difference between me and those morons on the internet. I could do it. I had lots of clues. The first was Arimoto Hinai herself. And then... the Sumo stickers. I'd only seen them at 2 of the crime scenes so far, but I could find one at Leaky Noise too. I'd have a clue that no one else in the world had. I should go and take a look tomorrow. And then... there was the video that had gotten uploaded on, to the internet. Who had upped it, and why?
Huh?
Is there like something there? I still can't see what's-her-face. I played the video one more time, and then realized something.
そういえば、なんでだ?
Is it that blink at the end?
こっちもか。
It was a common thing you found in videos, so I'd never really noticed until now, but... and I hadn't seen any comments on the internet saying anything about it either, but...
なんでこんな処理してるんだ?
There was something weird at the start and end of the video. It was on the screen for less than a second, but at the start the image appeared from top to bottom. And then at the end, it went from top to bottom. These weren't particularly unusual effects. Yeah, it's a blink. The one at the start was often used in TV shows and movies when a character woke up. Of course, this was when the camera was showing his point of view. The one at the end was often used when a character was falling asleep or just before they passed out. Sometimes you could play both at high speed to make it look like someone was blinking. It was called a wipe. It was a method of transitioning video from one image to another.
Huh?
The video was clearly taken from next to the Love Hotel and almost perfectly at eye level. From the distance and angle, that much was clear. I spent so much time looking through a camera that I knew how to judge the distance between it and the things it saw. I was sure that if I asked the rest of the newspaper club, they'd agree. But the side of the building where this video was taken was a sheer wall. I could see that for myself in the video I'd taken. The only things I could see outside the window were a wall and the sticker. The uploaded video looked like it had been taken from someone's eyes. Suddenly, a dumb idea occurred to me. I looked at the picture of the sticker on the wall that I'd printed out. Nah. I shook my head to drive away the stupid delusion. I needed to stay calm and logical. Tomorrow, I could go see where the camera had probably been placed. Oh, Jesus. Yo, don't do this to me, man. I don't want to do this. I'm looking away. Oh, fuck. Didn't mean to hit my microphone like that. Don't do that. No. Oh, God. All right. Tight. Our delusions are definitely getting to us. All right. I think I'm going to call it for this episode. You know, after we read these chat messages, I apologize for being late. The test images spreading through Shibuya as expected. Continue to monitor the situation, yes, and the target, no issues. There's no sign that they know my identity. I'm close. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, that's not good. Oh shit, chapter 2, boys. Chapter 2. Wow. Wow. All right. Yeah, definitely gonna save it here. We made it to chapter 2. What a fucking long ass beginning chapter. Jesus Christ. All right. Well. Yeah, I just don't like it when games, like visual novels especially, because they have that creepy way where they can zoom in on an image and just do something. Like, just jump scares in general really scare the shit out of me. But I was thinking that, yeah, there's probably some sort of mystical force that just opens the middle eye. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. I'm definitely not a scaredy cat or a pussy or anything like that. I just hate scary stuff sometimes, you know? I was like this back when I recorded Wonderful Everyday. Definitely check that out too. Takuji's route is definitely a fucking trip. But yeah, I guess next time we'll jump into chapter 2, see if Takuru's still kicking. But people want him dead apparently, and people know about him too, apparently. Jesus. All right, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, stay safe, God bless, and I don't know why I'm really delaying the shit out of this outro. I'm not scared, I promise.